It's important that the church provides children's ministry to kids because they need to learn and understand about God at their level. They need to be taught and have games and fun and activities, that bring it all together for them.
Also, I think it's a good way to have a foundation for a Christian faith later on. I know that for myself, growing up in a Christian faith and having that made things easier to grow later on.
I'm going to have to go with Justina on that too. Growing up in church, it made things a little easier to not be like everybody else when certain kind of situations would show up in life.
They need to learn, not just by sitting and listening to someone talk. They need to experience God, and they need to have fun and games in order for that to happen. And we try to do that with them. We try to make God real to them, and we want it to be something that they can apply to their daily lives. So when they go to school and they're confronted with a problem or an issue, they know that God is with them. Ways that I've seen growth in Shout Kids with some of the children is that they're starting to get it. They're getting the message that we are Jesus' hands and feet within the earth. One of the examples we have is Ari, when Gideon was sick, he got on Facebook and he made a tremendous video, a little 2 or 3 minute video praying for Gideon when he was sick.
I think a minor thing I see is there's some kids that'll come downstairs and they're really shy and not wanting to do anything or play or interact with other kids, but almost all the time at some point you see them playing and having fun with other kids and kind of loosening up before they leave, and some of them not even wanting to leave when their parents come down.
I think it might just be the teacher in me, but I like it when kids get curious. You can see them sitting there thinking as we're going over the lesson, and then they start asking all the questions, and then you can see how they learn from week to week, because sometimes we go back and say, hey, do you remember what we talked about last week? And then the kids will be like, oh, I do. And then when they start to remember it and they start to get it, I think that's probably what I like best.
It's important for us to develop Christian relationships with each other and for the children too, because we want them to get that the church is our family and that the church is our forever family. These are the people that we're going to be spending eternity with. And we need to learn to be friends. We need to learn to bear up with each other. We need to learn to take care of each other and help each other. And we need to pick each other up when one of us has fallen down. And we just need to learn how to work out our problems together too, because if we're going to be spending eternity together, we need to learn to get along.
Having Christian friends would probably be better growing up, so you don't get yourself into situations that you wouldn't have gotten yourself into had you have had a better choice of friends.
I also think it'll be a good support system as you continue to grow and for what you need when you're younger too and everything like that.
And it's important for us to have it too, because there's positive influences with kids when they go to school. Not everybody is walking with the Lord, and they're exposed to a lot of different things, and different kids have different ideas, and sometimes even teachers and the schools are pushing different ideas, that aren't necessarily in line with Christian values. And it's important for them to have relationships with people that do. What I would say to a parent that would be nervous about having their child attend Shout is that they're always welcome to come downstairs and see what we do and what we're about and how we do things, how we do praise and worship with the kids, how we teach the lesson and the Bible verse to the kids, how we play games that try to instill the idea of the day. So just for them to see and understand what we do and how we do it, I would welcome them, anytime, to come and sit downstairs and see what it's all about.
I would have to say, knowing that my son is downstairs learning and I know that he's safe and he's having fun, that helps me focus more and actually listen to the lesson. I don't have to be like, Aiden, knock it off. Aiden, what are you doing? I can just sit there, listen to the pastor, listen to the message, take notes, and get what I need to get my fill for the week.
I think for me, my favorite part is if I'm coming downstairs and I'm kind of tired, just not in the mood for it that day, I always leave super happy and I don't know, there's a certain joy that radiates from kids, and it's definitely contagious, and I always leave even though I gotta go to work right after. I definitely am in a much better mood and space to go to work. And the children's worship, when I first started coming down, I was oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, this is a little bit weird, but I definitely that's one of my favorite things, coming down, doing some fun dance motions, watching other kids do it. I think that's really fun. there's a lot of joy in the room.
The most important part of serving in children's ministry for me is just seeing them getting it and growing and learning, to walk with Jesus and learning, to pray. When somebody's sick, one of the first things that comes out of one of the children's mouths is, well, can we pray? That's getting it. A lot of times, even with grown-ups, we try everything else. And then it's like, well, we can at least pray after we've tried everything else. But when you say that, somebody got hurt or somebody's sick or somebody's in the hospital, and the first thing out of one of their mouths is, oh, can we pray? They're getting it. And that's an awesome thing.